All right, today we're gonna learn how to paint Snoop Dogg. All right, we're just at the Office Max or Office Depot, same stuff, right? We're gonna go get that poster board. So let's see what happens here, guys. All right, we're going to Blick. So let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're gonna go check out this burger place called Shake Shack. Let's check this out, man. That's pretty good, huh? His fries are crinkle cut. All right, let's go check out the paper. All right, we got our biggie paper. We got my painting cocaine plus Crips. We got the video game paper. A lot of video games. You gotta have gin and juice, right? We got Tupac, Ice T's, NWA as well. Gotta have 420 paper, man. Got Vietnam Vet for his dad and Snoopy, the original Snoopy, because he liked it. We got our LA sports teams. We got some of his record labels. These are some of the TV shows where they worked with Martha Stewart. He is also on Worldwide Wrestling, big fan, and Snoop Dogg himself. So we got a little bit of Snoop Dogg. Is that upside down? I don't know. So that's that paper. All right. This is the big Snoop Dogg, so this will do on stencil paper. next stage is a stencil with this really hardboard. How tough is it? Start up at the top. All right, the next stage is opening the canvas. And it's a 24 by 36. Nothing like having a good cup of joe in the morning. Can't have too much or you'll be in the bathroom all day. All right, our next stage is to add the paper. This is kind of how it's gonna lay out, so we can take that off and move on to gluing the paper on. All right, we'll finish that paper layer. We're gonna tighten it up, cut off the ends, and then we'll move on to the stencil. All right, we're back again. We're gonna do our next stage, which is color study. So we're gonna paint on top of these and see what happens. So let's start this as color for brown. I think he'll be kind of like this color. This is going to be a challenge because I'm not used to painting this skin color. I don't even paint white people, so I'm not racist. I just don't paint people at all. So see how that works. So yellow here, maybe light blue, say. So green. We'll have a shirt color too. Maybe one we do purple, kind of. Let's see what that looks like. There's blue here, so why not try blue? You know, it probably works. Try dark green maybe. I don't think dark green's gonna work, but see, it's too close. This is better contrast. Fade to orange. Let's see. It might be too aggressive, I think. It's not chill, so I don't think. Like this. It's pretty harsh with the reds. I mean, the yellow makes his head stick out, we already know that, but let's try the blue here. Start out a little lighter, say like this. Maybe have the darker blue, maybe like this. I like the blues, that's kind of a nice color. Let's try the green. This is the same color, so this is out for sure. Maybe a really dark green. I like the greens, probably with the yellow, because the green represents kind of him smoking weed away, so green makes sense. And then this red's way too loud. I'll just get rid of that. So green to yellow, that kind of works. This red works. This is out. If I do a really dark brown, put it straight on there because it's not really taking. A red jacket. In a blue background, you could do a blue shirt with a green background. You could do a really light background too, because his face is really dark, so maybe a lighter. And red looks very angry, and Snoop has some angry lyrics, but it's more chill, I think, than say an iced tea. Let's go with the blue, like he has a shirt. Blue green maybe, blue purple, green, purple. Let's see what that looks like. So then you have the contrast here. I mean, pure blue is really beautiful as well. It's more chill. Maybe purple works better. I also like the fact that he has plaid, so that kind of might be an idea to mix in plaid colors in there a little bit as kind of the follow-up. So all of these have this kind of yellow. Let's see here. So you're gonna have that contrast. I definitely think that contrast works. I guess we'll go with this one. What do you guys think? Let me know which one you prefer down below in the comments. All right, let's move on to the next stage. So we're gonna take this one, so let's just take it out here. Get kind of a rough idea of the color scheme. It's trash. And then we can tape it up above. Rough guide of what we want. So we got a guide here, we got Snoop on top, and then we'll do the outline next layer here. All right, the next stage is we're gonna sketch out the stencil on the canvas here. See how we wanna tape it. I gotta fix the chin. I don't know what's going on there. Somehow it's off, but we shall figure that out, hopefully. So he's pretty high up here because he's way bigger. Third lines are probably here, here, and here. I guess we'll have it right on the edge here. That'll be easier to put on theoretically because you don't have to adjust much. Other than that line up. Jesus Christ. Let's just make it simple. Hopefully there's no way to screw this up, right? It's right flush against the side. So let's first mark this. So let's see here. And as mentioned earlier, the reason why I add these lines on the outside and inside is when you take it off and put it back on, somehow it seems to move. So this will keep everything hopefully flush with the original how we wanted it. So as long as we can keep this lined up vertically, that'll be good. Now we'll just sketch in everything so we'll know where to paint. I'm using a lighter pen, so hopefully it'll go over really thick and you won't see this in the next layer. So I have a feeling this is off, but I'm just gonna leave it as is and then fix it when I start painting the next layer after that, when I kind of correct stuff. So that's what I didn't do in my earlier paintings, is I didn't really paint after the black. I just insisted, oh, it has to be right after the black, but that's kind of stupid because you can really fine tune the painting a little bit from there because there's just stuff you're missing and you don't realize it at the time. So hopefully I get all of the eyebrow stuff, because sometimes you miss a little bit of the eyebrows and it's not going to make sense. And he has this huge gap here, it's amazing, between his eyebrows, but his eyes are pretty set apart, or it's maybe just the angle here, just more of a 3/4 versus a straight look. But 3/4 is a really good shot for portraits. You normally kind of want to use that, I would say. I'd say that's the ideal. Let's see how accurate this is, but. So I kind of shortened the mustache because it didn't seem right, but we'll see. His mustache is a lot thicker. Ice-T's is very kind of thin. Doesn't grow well like mine, but he has a very thick, well put together mustache. So let's see if we got everything. We'll take this off. Hopefully there's enough lines to work with. Right lines to work with. And you can't see anything. But that's the intention. It's supposed to be very, very light, so hopefully it's visible. So we'll move on to the next stage. All right, let's run through the colors. Mars Black, Titanium White, Burnt Sienna, Pearly Red, Quin Red, Cad Yellow, Primary Yellow, Phthalo Blue, Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Green, Turquoise. So I missed a little bit piece here, but I was saying I think his neckline is way more defined than Ice-T. I think Ice-T is probably in his 40s, and this is probably Snoop when he's in his 20s, so he's got that nice healthy neckline. Hasn't gone to crap. If you see recent pictures of Snoop, he's way more older, so he looks quite a bit different, but I think the younger Snoop really captures his essence of kind of before. You see the potential in his eyes and that really grittiness, and later he's very successful, so he's way chilled out, I would say. Which is fine, it is what it is. He's successful, you're gonna be chill, but You really want that kind of up and coming, gritty, like hunger to survive kind of thing, I think, as far as this freaking thing is lined up. Jesus Christ, not lined up already. Look at this. Already having issues lining it up. What the heck, you know? Shouldn't be that hard, really. So we want to have the hair here. And then this part of the hair, well, that goes right to the back of his neck. There'll be a little gap here. And it's gonna come back. So we'll leave all this because that's just hair with the background coming through, so that's good there. And then that should run off there. So it'd be basically his coat kind of coming off there. And this is coated all the way through here. There should be a little gap here, so I gotta remember to put that in. Yeah, I think that's the outside. Well, we'll recut that in. We're missing here. We gotta put a little piece of tape there. So his hair goes here. And then here, kind of, there's this dip here we want to cut out. Here, let's see, this is fine. Yep, that far over. It's amazing that his neck is so well chiseled there. With Ice-T, it was definitely like straight like this. Like he had an extra 2 inches on his neck. I was like, dude, what's with Ice-T's neck? It's so crazy looking. But you know, again, it was just an older Ice-T versus a younger Ice-T. It's just, you're gonna look different. Everyone doesn't age. Well, I know myself. I've lost hair and other things. Hair, neckline, it all goes, guys. So let's cut this out again. I'm gonna cut it a little closer than what I outlined so it has a little bit of overlap. That'll make it look nice, I think. So that'll be that. This is way different, so we gotta really tape that over. See, this is an issue with this fucking goddamn style. Fuck you up like that. I just fucked up the painting there. But it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. If the fucking tape wants to fuck you up. It's always a challenge. You're just like, oh my god, is it gonna make it or not with this style? You can see it kind of pulls on that paper, so it's always a challenge here. You gotta be careful not to cut all the way to the canvas too as well. But that's less of a worry because you can generally see that. You can kind of feel where you're cutting a little bit. But not always, I mean. Sometimes you can really cut through and be like, "Arr." Makes no sense in the face. Let's check that again. This is weird, very weird. I guess that's okay. His hair is here, so it's just kind of weird. Hair overlapping farther than the face. All my proportions like, his eyeballs should go in there. Some of the stuff you don't know until you put it on and you're like, oh, that's way out of proportion. Theoretically, the stencil should be right on par. So we gotta do this a little bit in. I'm forgetting to do that. So here we're gonna go way in, just to make sure we got enough. Don't fuck with me, bitch. Alright, let's use a nice little piece here. Now, if we don't cut low enough, then you're gonna have to fill it in later, but we'll probably have to fill it in later anyway. Good there. So this time too, I'm just gonna leave the eyes. It's just not worth it. So we're gonna do the outside first. We'll start with, so this is gonna be super high intense here. So he just does it, what it wants sometimes. And I'll probably do this again in the end just to make it really pop, but it's just good to get that first layer. Maybe the first layer works out, you don't know, but it's always good when you have a device to really strengthen the contrast. That'll make it really pop. It's not really what you see in the reality, but you don't want those kind of divisions between light and dark and colors and stuff like that. So if I get this right, I want to touch it up, but I probably will just to make it really pop. So here I'm bringing it in. So this is going to be a focal point. That'll be really high contrast there. That's that layer. It's a very light color too as well. So because he has a really dark skin, so we need lighter colors to make it pop. So this needs to be lighter at first. Never know. Sometimes it's freaking camera will give you the screw job. So let's go to a darker green. So that green here, much more of a pop. I don't know if it's exactly the color we want, it's just really stark, but we want to get to that darker layer so we kind of blend it out here. I'll probably do more yellow on top of this to make it really kind of blend a little bit better, I'm thinking here. But for the first coat, kind of just let that sink in. Alright, then let's go to our really dark green. I know why he does blue, because blue is a freaking Crip, so I definitely got these blue. How can I forget that, man? Because I'm just realizing, like, Ice-T was of the generation where it was kind of East Coast, West Coast, but it wasn't breaking into gangs. And then by the time I got to Snoop Dogg, it was breaking down to like gang level rap. So that's kind of why Tupac got shot and all these other guys, Biggie and everything, just broke down to gang violence. And you can see, I think 6ix9ine is kind of going the same route. Hopefully he doesn't die, but it's not smart to start gang wars like that. All right, we're gonna add the really dark green now. Because I kind of did that blue layer, which is kind of probably smart to do this here and then that there, but whatever. I think green will look really good on Snoop Dogg with his, you know, fascination with weed. I like a little weed, but to go like all in like that is crazy. If you're a rapper, you can kind of get away with that kind of stuff, but if you do a normal corporate job, you can't be like, yeah, I smoke weed every day. But I mean, he's a millionaire versus these other guys in a corporate job don't have anything, so who's actually right on that, you know? Kind of makes you get these second thoughts. All right, this should be some real good sludge. We're making that super dark on the edges here. Really thick, kind of covering up most of that, but sometimes you gotta do some sacrifice for the team, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, and while that's wet, I'm gonna take off the tape right away. It'll make it a pain in the ass to do the outline again, but it is what it is. You don't want that tape to be in there too long. It'll start ripping through the paper like I did here below. You wanna pull it when it's wet. So you can already see it pulled off some of the paper here a little bit, but it's not that noticeable. But that kind of stuff happens with this style. I mean, I could just claim it was like intentional, but it's not really intentional, but it'll be cool enough. You won't see it through the paint will cover up most of that. So, because I think that's where the black braids lay, so that should be fine. Hopefully his face is done right. This looks goofy here, but I think it's because of the beard and it's kind of distorting where his face might lay. But we'll see. Hopefully that's not incorrect. Just do a quick super check here. I think it should be right. It just depends. I think we might cut way deeper here, but we'll see. Probably the chin should come out here. But I mean, most of that's black, so we'll see if that matters or not. So we'll let this dry, see what happens in the next layer. All right, it's kind of dry a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and paint the kind of blue, because it's Crip, so it's gotta be blue. I don't know why I didn't realize that earlier, but luckily before I started. So we'll get that started. Oh no, we'll do the brown first, so we'll do the brown first. All right, now we're gonna do the highlights, the dark highlights. See, this kind of goes like this here. All gonna be dark. This is the chin area. We're just dropping that out a lot darker. This side of the face is much darker. A little bit of darkness here around the eye. Area of the face is going to be darker. Alright, we're going to let that skin dry. Let's peel it off. Now we'll do the blue. So I left this light here because it's going to be covered in black. Same way we got dark here, we gotta have dark in the shirt. I'll let that dry, see where it goes. Looks. It's gonna be really dark here, so maybe we'll highlight that. But yeah, let's let it dry and see where it goes. All right, we're gonna brighten out that yellow. It's a little off on this side, so we just wanna kind of widen out the field and do a light yellow, kind of go through the whole thing. the next stage is we're going to add the stencil. So hopefully we got to line this up correctly. Hopefully we get those marks all set up correctly. Seems lined up. Alright, here goes nothing with the stencil. The moment of truth, we're going to take it off. Fix the hair real quick. Let's see where our mistakes are. So I think now we can fix the face. There's going to be certain areas we need to adjust. Man, these colors are not my color. I am having trouble here, man. This is off the deep end trying to do Snoop right. These some hard colors to work with. I don't know why, but. Damn, this is horrible. Oh, dude, this skin is terrible. Snoop, save me. Oh, shit, dude. Man, this is a tough skin color, man, bro. Man, I am not getting this right. Let me look what I did. I should have more tan skin. What's going on here, man? Why is this not working? Yeah, let's cover this up. This looks too damn ugly. Alright, I think that's a more realistic color, maybe. Got that a little bit here. Maybe white people can't paint black people. Oh man, this is so hard. Snoop, drop some wisdom on me, man. Shit. Man, this is just hard as hell. Is right. Coming from Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's looking a little more coming together, kind of. Oh man, this is a hard paint, man. This is a hard paint. Jeez. just finished the painting. Let's take a closer look. So we have these nice details from the dark side. I think it's really well balanced because you can see straight through the video game paper and all that. The outline on his hair is really strong. I got the nice Dr. Dre paper. The one thing that was kind of disappointing was I had a really nice background for Snoop, but then the color was just slightly off, and I really struggled with the painting, so I made more of a painting versus, you know, that style, like with the paper kind of coming through. It didn't come through as much as I wanted to, but I think his face, I corrected a lot of the issues with the face. Got his hair and the dreadlocks. I think that's pretty strong. That like tiny outline really made a huge difference. You know, I'm thinking I probably could have gone with a deeper blue. It definitely has that Crips blue, and it's light because, you know, compared to Snoop Dogg, you know, he's kind of that really dark mid-tone, you would say. So everything else, you need kind of a lightness around him. So I have the yellow that makes the brown pop, obviously, and the blue makes the brown pop, but I can't really use a dark blue, so you kind of have to use a light blue. But you don't want to get light sky blue because that will look really goofy. It won't look like Crip blue color. So it has kind of Crip blue colors, a little bit of highlights with sky blue, but not much. And then a darker, richer blue. I kind of wish it was a little more aquamarine color there, but I think it turned out pretty well. Again, the face kind of came together at the end. I really struggled with some parts of the face, especially the eyebrows, and kind of defining that nose is challenging. Because if you have a European nose, that comes like this really sharp edge and it makes a really harsh shadow. But if you have a softer, more African features, it's really difficult to get the curve of the nose. But you still want to kind of show the curve of the nose. So I kind of, you know, was working that, and I end up covering like all the nice paper details underneath, but it is what it is. I kept a lot of it around the eye, so you can still make out a lot of that paper details, but not as much as when I originally put it down. I do think it is drastically improved because if you look at earlier work, say my M&M work, you can't make up that face at all because I didn't paint in the face and I left kind of that color come through. But it's a little bit too indistinctive. The same with some of my other earlier work in Political Pop. You can't really make out the facial features because I didn't kind of paint that in, except for Scarface it really pops because I painted straight white in the background. So definitely I want to kind of keep that going forward. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Hopefully you guys like it. Give me a thumbs up. If you like to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you on the next painting video. Thanks for watching, guys.